I woke to the ethereal strum of a harp outside my window at 6 a.m., sharp and insistent, cutting through the quiet of a late summer morning in 2023. Not a ringtone, not some neighbor's eclectic playlist, but a real harp, played with fervor. At first, I thought it was a dream, maybe a weird echo from last night's tacos and binge-watching true crime. Then a gas generator roared to life, followed by laughter, shouted orders about flower placements. And wait, was that a guy in a tuxedo tiptoeing across my garden bridge? I flung open the curtains and froze. My backyard in Willow Creek, a sleepy suburb of Portland, Oregon, had morphed overnight into a wedding extravaganza. Rows of white chairs gleamed under the morning sun. A rose-covered arch twinkled with fairy lights. And a catering truck was parked in my driveway like it paid the mortgage. What in the actual hell was happening? Still in my flannel pajamas, I stumbled outside, brushing toast crumbs off my shirt, and nearly got run over by a woman wheeling a four-tiered wedding cake. She glared at me like I was trespassing. "Excuse me," I said, voice tight. "What's going on here?" She smirked, adjusting her headset. "Oh, you the landscaper? Can you point me to the circuit breaker? These outlets are dead." I stood there, dumbfounded, as a guy with a clipboard barked about aisle runners. Someone yelled at the harpist to retune, and a kid was flying a drone overhead, probably filming this chaos. My backyard private oasis had been hijacked into a bridal magazine spread, and I didn't know a single soul involved. Pushing through the crowd, dodging floral arrangements, I spotted a banner on my shed. "Congratulations, Ethan and Sophia," in elegant silver script. Who were Ethan and Sophia? And why were they tying the knot on my property like it was a public park? Furious, I ripped the banner down and marched to the Homeowners Association office 2 blocks away. This wasn't just a mix-up. It was an invasion, staged on my lawn without a call, text, or knock. The HOA office reeked of burnt coffee and bureaucracy. Behind the desk sat Lorraine Baxter, the HOA president, her smile as fake as her highlights. "Good morning, Nathan," she chirped, peering over her laptop. "We were wondering when you'd show up." "Show up?" I snapped. "You mean to the wedding I didn't approve on my own land?" She waved a paper like it was a royal edict. "It's all here. We've designated your yard as a community event space for today. Isn't it lovely?" My jaw hit the floor. "You can't do that. I own this property deed, taxes, everything. It's not HOA turf." Lorraine sighed, her tone dripping with condescension. "The board voted. It's for the community's benefit. Plus, the bride's family made a generous donation, so we're being neighborly." A bribe. She'd sold my yard for a check without asking me. When I mentioned the police, she smirked. "Officer Grant approved it. No damage, no problem." Grant, her buddy from the country club. Perfect. I left the office fuming, nearly flattened by a black limo pulling into my driveway. Out stepped a guy in a sequined jacket and enough cologne to choke a horse, Ethan, I assumed. He sized me up like I was hired help. "You the ground guy? My fiancée needs the pond cleared for her grand entrance. Gotta look pristine for the chopper shots." I blinked. "A helicopter? Over my fish pond?" He grinned, oblivious. "Just hovering. Lorraine said we've got full access all weekend." My fists clenched. "You've got nothing. This is my land." He laughed, slapping my shoulder. "Chill, man. You'll get some cake." Back inside, I locked the door before I broke something. This wasn't just entitlement. It was theft dressed up as a community party. Sipping coffee with shaking hands, I watched them test a sound system that rattled my windows. Lorraine would probably call it unity. I called it a violation. I dug out my documents deed, survey, HOA exemption, and snap photos. Before moving here, I'd spent a decade in civil engineering, designing bridges and prepping demo sites. My garage wasn't just for tools. It was a war room for precision. They made their move. Now it was mine. I made 3 calls. First to Marcus, my old demo buddy, now a pyrotechnics guru. Then to Carla, a rigging expert who wielded a jackhammer like a maestro. Finally, to Vince, who ran a hauling company with a temper and a bulldozer. "How fast can you get here?" I asked. They all said, "Faster with coffee." By noon, The wedding prep was in full swing, chairs aligned, a string quartet replacing the harp. But they didn't know I'd flipped the script. Tomorrow, my yard wouldn't host vows. It'd be a legal construction zone, complete with dust, noise, and my crew's grins. At 7 a.m. the next day, a bulldozer's beep woke the neighborhood. Vince rolled in, smirking from the cab. Neighbors peeked out, clutching mugs, as the wedding's event planner, Jenna, sprinted toward him, waving like a frantic bird. "Stop," she shrieked. Vince leaned out, deadpan. "Check the permits." He dropped the bucket onto the dance floor tiles, cracking them like eggshells. Jenna turned to me, red-faced. "What is this?" I handed her a laminated sheet. "Emergency soil stabilization. County approved. Effective now." She gaped, then ran off, yelling into her headset about Lorraine. Carla arrived next, her truck loaded with a concrete saw and hazard tape. "Which part first?" she asked, sipping my coffee. I pointed to the rose arch. "Their forever spot." The saw roared, sparks flying as it chewed through concrete. Marcus pulled up with crates marked stage, F's fog machines, chalk bombs, strobes. "Big entrance or finale?" he asked. "Both," I said. He nodded like we were planning a heist. Ethan and Sophia arrived in a second limo, the first blocked by a county van. Ethan stormed over, sequins glinting. "You're ruining my wedding," he bellowed. I met his glare. "I'm improving my property. Legally." Sophia, in a dusty gown, tried pleading. "This is my day. Just wait till noon." I raised an eyebrow. "Did you wait to ask before taking over my yard?" She had no answer. Lorraine showed up as Marcus's chalk bomb exploded behind the gazebo, dusting the air blue. She marched in, badge swinging, demanding we stop. Big mistake. Marcus handed her the permits, warning her interference was reportable. She called Officer Grant, but I'd already emailed drone footage to a different cop. Lorraine's voice, caught bragging about using my land without consent. Checkmate. By 10 a.m., my yard was a work zone. Orange cones, warning signs, diesel fumes. Early guests slipped on churned grass, one landing in a pile of ruined centerpieces. A gravel truck buried the dance floor. Inside, I monitored my security cams, every clip auto-uploading. Lorraine knocked, waving a voided HOA charter clause. I showed her the amended version on my tablet. She tried to grab it. I pulled back. "Careful, Lorraine. Assault's a bad look." Ethan's livestream was a Sister Jackhammer's drowning vows, forklifts photobombed by Vince's sign. "Congrats, Ethan and Sophia. Now leave." Online comments roasted them as entitled brats. Jenna suggested moving to a park. I handed her a petting zoo card. "Clean goats," I said. She wasn't amused. By noon, the yard was unrecognizable altar gone, lawn a dirt patch. Marcus triggered a final chalk cloud, coating straggling guests. I shut my door, victorious. No violence, just strategy. The wedding wasn't canceled. It was remodeled into a lesson. Don't invade my land. 2 days later, a letter slid under my door, Lorraine, claiming I'd violated HOA peace. I laughed, forwarding it to my lawyer with my evidence stack. He texted back, "She's burying herself." Lorraine tried rallying the HOA board, painting me as the villain, but residents were done. Neighbors shared their own stories, fines for kids' toys, banned vegetable gardens. Her empire cracked. Then Sophia and her dad, Harold, knocked. No gown, just jeans. Harold apologized, admitting they'd paid Lorraine thousands, thinking it was legit. Sophia was leaving Ethan, his livestream obsession her breaking point. They offered a check for damages. I took it, respecting their honesty. Harold, a lawyer, offered courtroom backup. I grinned at the irony. The HOA imploded. 2 board members quit. A county audit launched. Lorraine's Unity brunch flopped, boycotted by all but a few clueless retirees. A podcast called Carla for a tell-all. My footage was HOA legend. The county sent a revised property map, cementing my land as untouchable. Lorraine vanished, her office empty, her threats dead. Weeks later, a courier delivered a new wedding invite, Ethan and Sophia, beachside, small. Sophia's note thanked me for waking her up. I sent a toy jackhammer. Congrats on demolishing the past. My yard healed new grass. Koi circling, a fence with sensors. The HOA's new board apologized, covering repairs. I was the line in the sand, proof one guy could win. At a barbecue with Marcus, Carla, and Vince, we laughed about Lorraine's hypothetical return. She'd hate our demo-themed escape room. I joked. Under the porch light, my yard glowed, reclaimed. The HOA learned. Cross my line, and I'll bring blueprints and bulldozers. What would you have done if my shoes fought back or let slide? Should HOAs have less power, or are they essential for order? Was I too harsh, or do they deserve it? Share your thoughts, like, and subscribe for more stories of standing your ground.